we're back, and this is our ballroom dance friend, Brianna. We are getting to know her today, and she is a hugely diverse ballroom dance life experience. So she has competed amateur, she has competed pro-am, now she has a pro partner. She owns a professional ballroom dance and Latin costume design company. She owns a company that resells costumes. She teaches now with her now husband, who she met through dancing. She has lived in various areas of the country, competed in various styles. She's taken at chain studios, independent, has done it all. So lots of questions today for Brianna. If you missed video 1, look in the description. I'll send a link to that. I'm also going to share a link to Brianna's business website. If you have questions that you want to reach out to her personally, go ahead and hit her up there, guys. Look in the description. What was the highlight of your competitive career? Like, what was kind of the most joyful experience for you? Because you have many experiences.
Yeah, I think, so my goal was always to dance better than I did the last competition. And although that doesn't always happen, it gave me some okay, we're going somewhere, But the highlight, I would say more the last couple of years, the reality of dancing kind of hit me more. We're all getting older, but it's kind of okay, now's the time, we need to get out there, And my husband really taught me a lot through dance. He is extremely, extremely disciplined and hardworking. He gave me a lot of insight and inspiration when it came to practicing on your own, because he can absolutely dance a whole entire routine to music by himself with counts. And so it's been kind of recently this okay, we need to step up our game. I need to step up my game. Let's go and get out there. But it's really hard to highlight a specific thing. It's been just this whole journey, and there's been ups and downs, and the downs have been there's been lows, low lows.
And I've shared, some of the deepest lows in my dance careers. Well, we've all had them, guys. Mm-hmm. No one, even Serena Williams, blows it sometimes at a tennis comp. It happens to us all. Mm-hmm. What has been I would say the biggest challenge in your dance career? Because I'll bet some of our friends here share those talent challenges too.
Yeah, I think what I've been mentioning before about practicing on my own, and we don't always have motivation. We don't always have the want. There's been times I just been so down in the dumps. I just kind of looked in the mirror and I'm I can't do this. I've had really hard times. But you need to overcome that. Every day is better than the day before. Even if you don't feel like it, just go to the studio, just practice even for 30 minutes, just do it. And then you will start building it. For me personally, that was my little moment. I just got really down. It was just a little challenge in my life, but just keep going. Yeah, just keep going and everything gets better. And your eyes will fix to oh my gosh, I was freaking out about that a week ago, and now I can do it. Or even sometimes you go to your coach and there's just something they say that you're oh, well, why didn't I think about it that way? Okay, And
so how many coaches do you think you've had over the lifetime of your ballroom and Latin career?
I would say 6 to 7.
And do you take with them simultaneously, or has this been kind of a series of monogamous teaching relationships?
So it kind of goes through, I was dancing in Seattle for a little bit, and I had 2 coaches up there, and then
so did you see those coaches simultaneously, and were you learning the same style from them?
Actually at the time I was doing 10 dance, Latin and ballroom, and I was taking with a standard coach in Portland, and then in Seattle we worked more on international Latin, and that was a lot. So 10 dance, wow, it's so much. And then after that, more consistently. When I moved to California, we had 2 coaches we went to in the Bay Area, and then now we just have one.
And then in the Bay Area, you mentioned 2 coaches. So were you still doing 10 dance, or were you
just Latin?
Okay,
yeah.
you took with both of them kind of. How many lessons did you take? Was it like what?
I would say we had 2 lessons every other week.
And were these like standing lessons? Like we come Tuesdays?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
So not kind of an as needed thing, but a regular.
Yeah, it was pretty regular, and it was a female and male partnership together. So on some occasions, you know, we would take with one or the other. If I wanted more like female styling, you know, we would take with her.
And then did they encourage you like, hey, you need to work with her this week, you need to work with him, or was that just entirely up to you?
I think it was mostly up to us. Both of them are very like professional and very good. But I would be like, hey, I need more of like styling help on this, you know, can you help me with this? I would schedule with her. Yeah.
As Brianna touched on, she has transitioned to over the years to being a professional dancer. What has so do you, when you teach, what styles do you teach?
So I mainly focus on international Latin, and I actually have a lot of preteens, teens that are getting ready for competition, so that's really fun. And we do social dances as well. If you want to learn, you know, how to social dance, hustle, swing, merengue, we do salsa and bachata as well. But primarily we do focus on Latin. And my husband and I are not tall people, so Latin fits us more. I think, you know, standard is long, nice, like, you know, I'm like 5'2". Like I did standard and it's a beautiful, I love it, but I just felt so swallowed. So Latin was more suitable for both of us, for our height and style that we like.
It's so funny, growing up, my people would make fun of me and call me chicken neck, which I hated. I hated it. And I remember seeing this was a World 10 dance coach, and they were like, oh, you're so lucky in standard, you have that beautiful long neck. I'm like, oh, you mean this chicken neck that I'm always trying to hide in turtlenecks? Yeah, this thing. Who knew that thing would come in handy? And then in terms of transitioning to a teaching career, do you do privates or groups or both?
Right now I'm just doing privates. We do a social dance once a month.
And then do you kind of start the social dance with a pre-dance lesson? Or, okay, I didn't know if that was like a local thing because we do that here, or is that across the country?
That's what I was familiar with, and so I usually we'll change up the dance so like we'll start with salsa, group class, and then we'll just have the social dance. And you know, sometimes we have people that come after the group class because they just want to dance with everyone, or we get a lot of new beginners coming into the group class. It's a good mix of people, experienced dancers and non-experienced dancers. We just want to bring a community together. So,
and I would say for competitors, I think Brianna touched on something super important. If a coach comes to you and you know, presents themselves as a master of everything, they are probably a master of nothing. Now, don't get me wrong. I do teach all styles. And if someone, you know, I definitely teach, unless someone's a hardcore competitor, all the styles, because I don't want them to be a buffoon at a social dance who can only do 5 of the dances. But, you know, my passion personally is international standard. And so, you know, I tend to cultivate that clientele. And Brianna mentioned, you know, her passion is Latin. I do think that is a good indicator of having a little bit of a better pro when they admit that they have strengths and weaknesses, because we are human beings.
yeah.
And I have seen some, I'll say honestly, greedy pros who misrepresent themselves as, oh, everyone else is horrible at everything and I'm the master of everything. No one's the master of everything. And then what has been the biggest surprise in your teaching career?
For some reason, everyone's scared of international Latin. It's been, I mean, in California, everyone did it, but since moving to the South, everyone's kind of like, oh, it's Latin. And I'm like, it's not that scary.
So does the American style tend to predominate the scene over there?
Yes, very much. So a lot of, rhythm, American smooth, pretty much anyone who's involved in the ballroom world does that. There is a small section of people who have gotten into Latin, but it's not as clean as I would like it to look. I'm being super picky because my husband and I, like, we're really particular. Like, we want, like I mentioned before, we want to teach you quality dancing at your pace, and you know, we want to teach you a lot, but it needs to look good, you know, not just a kind of sloppy samba for a show dance. It's like, no, make it look nice, spend time on it. You don't need to do all this fancy stuff. Just do simple bronze, silver steps. And if they're clean and look good, it can look so nice for a show dancer, you know, if you're going to competition or something.
So as a very experienced amateur competitor as well as professional dancer, how do you think the student can identify when they're ready to move on to, say, the silver or the open? What is your take on that? Or do you just rely on your coach to say, hey, basics are solid, let's move on? What do you?
Yeah, I'm trying to think how my husband does with his pro-am students, because he starts them at, you know, bronze slowly.
I think we all do.
Yeah, starting at bronze, but making sure those figures are solid, because we're gonna still take those figures throughout our routines and as we grow as dancers. It's not like you just dance bronze and then never dance it again. Like, it's your fundamentals.
Yeah, of the rest of your dance career flushes around that.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's your just fundamentals. It's like learning the alphabet before you can spell big words, right? Like, you just want to jump to the big things. It looks cool, and I want you to get there. And same thing for me too. There's things that I want to do, but like so many fundamental things that I need to practice on my own, especially for ladies. Being on our own feet, knowing where our weight is, not expecting the gentleman to move us. Those are big, big things. So I personally would say, if my student is solid in one level and they feel confident, they can dance these steps by themselves, then we start slowly implementing, you know, more advanced steps. And it all makes sense. It all comes together, you know, slowly but surely, but it looks really nice in the end.
I do have some follows as students who are very much social dancers. Ironically, they do not go to social dances at all. They only dance with me. They have zero interest in learning. And they say they don't go to social dances because they can't lead like I do. And I do think there is a misperception of the follows that, well, if the lead does their job, I'm going to look great. And unless you want to pay someone to constantly make you look good, I assume you want to become independently your own beautiful dancer. And guess what? Those leads at the social dances are going to be a heck of a lot more easy to follow and pleasant if you know what you're doing. So I would recommend definitely mastering your part, unless you truly just are going in for exercise and stuff. And I'm happy to teach those ladies, but I'm also honest with, well, you know, you aren't ever independently going to be able to dance without me leading you around, because I'm an experienced dancer. I can really, I don't want to say dance my part wrong, but kind of physically manipulate her into doing her part that I would not, you know, really want her competitive partner to do if she competed. So I think this is solid advice. How did you transition from amateur to teaching? Was that a hard transition?
No, I think that kind of comes with, you know, dancing and being a dancer. I love the joy of teaching, you know, showing people something new they can learn. And like, look, you walked in, you didn't know anything about salsa. Now you know like 5 figures that you can go bust out on the dance floor, you know? And even getting people ready for a wedding, they just want to know how to dance on the dance floor. No problem. We can get you going with some simple figures, and you're going to know like, oh, I heard this song. Oh, I can dance foxtrot and swing to this. I can dance like rumba and, you know, cha-cha. You know, it's brought me so much joy. Dance has brought me so much joy, and I want to give that to others. So.
Okay, guys, I'm way over that 10-minute mark. I'm going to have one more interview with Brianna. I apologize I keep coming back, but I have so many questions for her about her costume designs, her amateur career, her teaching career. And so we're going to be back. I'm not going to post tomorrow, but I will post very soon. And if you missed those previous videos, I'll share links in the description. And the first link below in the description of this video is going to be a link to Brianna's business website, where she sells professionally made custom gowns, as well as has a thriving costume resale business for those of you who are trying to maybe get a little money out of that initial investment for that gown and upgrade. So thanks so much for joining us, Brianna, and we'll see you soon with getting to know Brianna a little better. Thank you for answering our questions. Bye, guys.